to have our council member, Ricky D. Callahan. There's a lot of things going on in Pleasant Grove. He's going to come and share some things. His secretary said he wouldn't be real long, so if he go too long, I'm gonna tell it on him.
All right.
Come, Councilman.
Trying to get me in trouble already.
All right.
I just want to come say Happy New Year to you, number one.
Amen.
Happy Martin Luther King birthday weekend. And
Amen.
we're off to a good start. We had a beautiful banquet last night. I don't think there was a vacant seat in the house.
Amen.
It was very well put together, and so we had our city manager, G.C. Broadnax, was one of the speakers. So we had a great time, and we're going to have a great parade tomorrow, so I hope you'll make it out if you have the opportunity.
Amen.
I was listening to your pastor's message, and obviously that was a transformative message, and that's the only kind that we really need to hear. I hope you'll forgive me. I'm a Southern Baptist, so I won't hurt you any. But it reminded me of a song when I was a kid. It just basically goes that there's power, wonder-working power in the blood. That's what that reminded me of, and I thought about transformation and what he was talking about. But that was really why I'm here, because we want to talk about transformation in Pleasant Grove. And I think the only way we're going to be able to do that is first we're going to have transformation in ourselves. And if we can transform ourselves, then we have a great opportunity to transform our community. And if we have revival in ourselves, then I think we can have revival in our community. So if we change individually, then we can all change collectively.
Amen.
House by house, block by block, and neighborhood by neighborhood, and then community. When I first got elected in 2013, we were not really ready for anything. We had so many challenges coming out of the recession. We had a lot of brokenness in the community. I think we had 400 vacant lots and houses and so forth, and loose dogs running everywhere, a lot of trash and litter, a lot of joblessness, a lot of boards up on the buildings. But I do think that we're ready now. I think after this 4 or 5 years that we've had to kind of get our act together, if you will, to kind of get our house in order, I think we're much better. So I came up with an idea. The mayor was always saying, one of these days we're going to get out to Pleasant Grove and do some things. Or one of these days, Pleasant Grove can do the same thing that's happening in West Dallas and Bishop Arts and other places in Dallas, Deep Ellum. And so I finally come up with this idea. So, well, why not Pleasant Grove now?
All right.
Why not right now? It's an intentional means to focus on the improvement of Pleasant Grove today. Not wait, not next year or maybe in a few years, but right now, Pleasant Grove now. So I hope you like the ring that it's got. We believe it is time for Pleasant Grove now, and again, it's an intentional transformative plan. And I just want to walk you through it. It's on this piece of paper, but I wanted to spend a minute with you. And we just believe that this is the very next place right now for development. You're seeing a lot of positive things happen. If you're out driving around, you're looking at Buckner and 175. That bridge there has been painted. It's only taken me about 10 years to do that, but I'm not going anywhere. So we also got Buckner and Military Bridge that's been painted. Those are kind of portal entryways in our community. But what I was seeing was a blighted bridge with a bunch of graffiti on it, and the elements have not been very kind to those bridges. So we now have those painted. We'll have spring plantings coming very, very soon. So I want to just talk real briefly about what we've got, and that way you can get out of here. We want to increase development. That's very needful in this community. We want to increase retail and restaurant options. As people always say, can we get more sit-down restaurants? And the answer is yes, we can. So we want to rehab the older apartments and shopping centers. Are real tired. Many of them have been refaced, but we need to do more. We want to create more office space that allows new businesses to come in, entrepreneurship to take hold. We want to enhance our recreational opportunities. We want to promote the AT&T Byron Nelson Golf Tournament. That's coming very soon, in the third week of May. And it started in Southern Dallas at the old Oak Cliff Country Club, so it's coming back. This is a great opportunity to showcase our community. We've got the horse park over there, we got the Audubon Center, we have this golf course. So these are ways to synergistically to make our area better. We want to complete our parks. I want to brag on my park board member, many of you may know her, Yolanda Williams. She's done a great job being my partner to try to make something happen just right up the street here at Crawford Park. That is a signature park, folks. That is going to be just like White Rock Lake Park.
All right, all right, all right.
If you're looking right now, you're seeing right now that there's an aquatic center being built. There's holes in the ground and they're making improvements there. That should open around May the 1st. That is the projected timeline. We got a lot of work to do, but I believe that we've got a good chance to get there. So that is the very first regional aquatic center. I think there's one over in Oak Cliff that's been there a long time, and so we want to basically have something for our kids and just people here to do. We'll have 8 laps for swimming. We'll have 2 slides going into a plunge pool, and then we'll also have a lazy river. There'll be about 3,800 square foot building, 90 parking spaces. So this is really,
All right.
So, but we're going to have a walking trail all the way around this lake. We'll have a fishing pier. Ultimately, one day we'll have a new community center there. We'll have more pavilions, more restrooms, more parking, more athletic fields. And then to the, I think to the north of there, we're looking at establishing a Pee Wee football complex. All of our kids are having to go to Lancaster, Mesquite, and Garland, and other places to play ball, and I don't think that's right. The last component is, or let me just say that we want to have more neighborhood beautification projects. We've got to clean this place up. Tanell Atkins, which is actually the councilman in this District 8 right here, he and I are great partners, and we're working together to try to make a change. But we all know that litter is one of our biggest problems, illegal dumping and so forth. The last thing, again, the training the workforce. We've got to not only create more jobs with the existing companies that are here, but we've also got to bring in more jobs from the outside. We got to give our young people an opportunity when they go and they work through school to get themselves prepared, and then we have a duty or responsibility to make sure that they have a job. It's not really easy in Pleasant Grove to get to other parts of the Metroplex, so all roads, you know, they don't really lead to jobs, so it's real hard to get out there to find a job. So I think if we could find a way to create more jobs here locally, then that would be awesome. We are real blessed in coming this week, this next Friday. We have a new workforce center that's opening at the old Pleasant Grove Library right there just south of Lake Geno Butler. That will have about 30 certification training programs right there for our young people. Everybody not going to go to college, we know that. But this might be a way to get into that next step to raise your income from a minimum wage, $7-8 an hour, up to $15 or maybe $20 an hour, and then you can work your way through school. So that would be a great next step opportunity. But the Workforce Solutions, that's the old Texas Employment Center, basically what it is. So they're the one that's going to be running that program. So we'll have a ribbon cutting this next Friday. So as you can see, we've got increased development, enhance our recreational opportunities, train our workforce. We're establishing beachheads, and these are the mayor's clearly on board. He said he would spend the balance of his mayorship, you know, for a year and a half to make sure that we get these things done. And as I mentioned, Tanell Atkins is on board as my partner. But we want to create a public improvement district from Butler Military all the way down to Pemberton and Great Trinity Forest. And what that does, this will allow us to do create a sense of place. People will know they're in a special zone like City Place or Bishop Arts or some of these other transformational places in the city, or even like the Trinity Groves. But we'll have spring and fall plantings, more security. We'll have increased like LED lighting, so it's much brighter, more safe, more walkable, maybe wider sidewalks, decorative pavers, so people will know they're in a special place. We also want to, again, increase those beautification and cleanup opportunities. But we want to establish a Pleasant Grove Town Center. We're looking at either the old Pleasant Grove Mall, which is where Elrod's is, or Pleasant Grove Shopping Center to transform one of those centers to be a sense, you know, like a Pleasant Grove Town Center. Again, we talked about those portal entries. We're establishing those at Buckner and Military, 175 in Buckner. And then we want to make our community more walkable. We want more sidewalks, curbs, gutters, better lighting, and better signage, and so forth. We'll also establish some signs, much like we will say, like "Welcome to Pleasant Grove" and so forth, so that people will definitely know they're in the Grove. I saw Von Hill last night, our former councilwoman out here, and she smiled and goes, "We're in Pleasant Grove, and it is pleasant." And I always remember her saying that, and it can be again. We don't have to continue to go on the way things have been the last 25 years in this community. We can, and I believe we will, turn this community around. But I need you folks, again, as I said, the very first opening comments I made, and we've got to transform ourselves. What can we do individually to make ourselves better, make our families and our homes better, and then one block at a time make things better? And if we'll redouble our efforts and try to do that, I think we have a real good chance to make a lasting, sustainable community. That's really all I had. I'll yield for a question or two if somebody has one, and otherwise I want to get y'all out of here. And I want you to get involved. We're going to have these meetings. We'll have a charrette, which is a French word. It's a planning event. That's on January the 30th. That will be at Eastville College, Pleasant Grove, 802 South Buckner. So that'll be from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. It's an open process. As we go about these meetings, we want everybody involved. We want to know what you have to say. We want to know what you want. That's the only way it's going to work. But I do thank you for your time, and have a happy New Year.
What time?
I believe that's 11 a.m. 11 a.m. on Friday morning, I believe, at the Workforce Center there at Pleasant Grove.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes, ma'am.
Amen.
We will have a website developed. You know, Vinay Hammond in the mayor's office is working with Grow South. This is clearly a Grow South initiative, but I got tired of growing south but not growing southeast. Everything was growing southwest, you know, and everything was happening in Oak Cliff, and everybody kept saying, "Well, why can't we do this over here?" And I said, "Well, I'm saying the same thing." But now I finally have the mayor's attention and Councilmember Atkins, and he just said it's time to go out to Pleasant Grove. So I believe it's coming together, but we need everybody on board, all hands on deck, as they say in the Navy. So anyway, God bless all of y'all, and my number, if you need it, is 214-670-4055, and that's my council office at City Hall. We're also going to have a local community office established here soon, and Tanel's going to have one as well, so get a little closer to the people so you can come by and ask questions, pick up information, and so forth. So I think it's a good opportunity for us. So there's going to be a lot of change. So get ready.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
God bless you.